Bait month is here. We have 3 limited units and thankfully 2 Spotlight Scouts. Speaking of which, do you guys who are new in the game even know what Spotlight Scouts are? Well, we'll discuss that later in this video. So strap on your seatbelts, sit tight, and let's begin our analysis if getting 1 copy of these sync pairs is good or just skipping them entirely. Here we go. Yo, 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 this is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, Yardis Team Skull Grunt, and this is Pokemon Masters EX, guys. We are 1 month, 1 update before the 4-year anniversary of Pokemon Masters. It's nice that the game has reached this milestone, but at the same time, it's so sad that the game is going down this route because, you know, things haven't been good recently. At least this year. Ever since, I think, Trainer Lodge came out, I think things went on a downhill run. We have had 0 Spotlight Scouts until now, since January. And Spotlight Scouts, I was saying earlier, Spotlight Scouts, guys, are permanent units. So once these 2, their banners end, we will be getting them randomly in any banner. So I think they end on August 27. And, you know, if there's a new banner on August 28, August 29, whatsoever, they are gonna be available in those banners. So that's the good thing about Spotlight Scouts. Unlike these other sync pairs, unlike Variety Scouts, unlike Poke Fairs, unlike Master Fairs, who will be gone and you will have to wait for the reruns before they come back. So before I continue, guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up right now and subscribe if you haven't, and let me know in the comment section who you are scouting for in this update. And with that said, guys, if you want to help out, you know, the channel even more, you can become a member just by clicking on the join button. You can support the channel for as low as $1 a month. Thank you to everyone here who have been supporting the channel for such a long time. Really appreciate it. And thank you also to all the gifters of my channel for showering extra love to these awesome people who have been active. Thank you guys so much. And with that said, guys, help me out one last thing. Again, promoting my coffee page for those who want to help me with my computer. That's it. Just go to coffee.com and maybe help me financially. You're not obliged to, but I will appreciate any support you can give. So with that, let's begin by looking at this timeline of Sync Pair Scouts. Okay, July 31, we will be having Leon. Alt. I hate that name. We're gonna just refer to him as Battle Tower Leon or just Leon. And we have Challenger Gloria, aka Gloria Alt 2, which just call her Gloria. Olympia as a Spotlight Scout, Drasna as a Spotlight Scout, and the very first Generation 9 sync pair, which is Nemona. So, Leon and Gloria ends on August 18, so you do not exactly have a lot of time to scout, especially for Gloria, who is probably, most likely, this year's bait unit. You know, before the anniversary, they come up with bait units. There have been good, great bait units. There have been okay bait units. Gloria, we will analyze later if she's a great, crazy good, or just a mid, you know, whatchamacallit, bait unit. Or probably Rose and Oliana are better than Gloria or something like that. They end on August 18, same as Rose and Oliana. Or Rose, Oliana, Leon, and Gloria will be gone on August, or rather, August 19. The last day is on August 18, guys. So we have new Spotlight Scouts, finally, after 6 months. Olympia as a Psychic type, and Drasna, I think, as a Dragon type. And interestingly, all 4 of these, in fact, all Yeah, all 4 of those sync pairs are tech sync pairs. Like, what the heck? Here we go again with the tech madness. If you want to, you know, Spotlight Scouts, if I were to scout them, guys, with all the limited units that we have, I am going to just scout for 7,500 gems plus 9,000 gems. If you want a showcase, I will not be making them 3 out of 5. In fact, save that for later. We will be getting them probably in the anniversary anyway. Unless the game decides to be kind to me and give me 3 out of 5 within those amount of gems. Meanwhile, Nemona over here is the very first sprint roll sync pair in the game. And what sprint sync pairs does is, well, they're pretty fast in terms of their speed. And, well, if you use a sync move and you have her 6-star EX, your sync move countdown will go down -3, if I'm not mistaken, for the very first time you use a sync move. So that is Adrenaline 3 built in as your 6-star EX power-up something. So that is a sprint sync pair. And we have another role, which is the field sync pair. Thankfully, that belongs to Victor and Spectrier, which is gonna be a free-to-play sync pair. A limited free-to-play sync pair. Just log in and, you know, you'll be getting Victor and Spectrier. So, that's that, guys. So, those are the timeline of events. And by the way, I'm covering the screen, but Nemona also ends, or last day of Nemona is actually also on August 27. Same thing as Olympia, Drasna, and, you know, the 3 of them. Now, here's the thing. I think the new sync pair will come out on August 28 or August 29. Or, you know, let's just say anniversary sync pairs will come out, and the anniversary banners will most likely cover, you know, Olympia and Drasna will already be available in the anniversary scouts. So if you want to just completely skip Drasna and Olympia, feel free, because they are gonna be permanent units. And one more thing is that I think DNA announced that we will be getting the next dev letter by early August. So before the run up to 4-year anniversary, which happens on August 18, I think. So we're expecting the new dev letter to come out probably before August 18 or on August 18. So hopefully we get news about the anniversary units already by that time, but maybe not, maybe yes, we'll have to see. So those are the things, and now we want to talk about if getting 1 copy of them is okay or not. So let's quickly look at their kits. And by the way, guys, check out my gem count video. One sad thing is that I assumed that the Galar Villain Arc Twitter Rally Part 2 will be getting us 3,000 gems. And if you watch my video previously, you'll know that we do not get gems in Part 2 of the Galar Villain Twitter Arc, which is a big boo on DNA. As much as I want to tell you guys to, you know, make a statement, stop retweeting, it's not gonna happen. We are currently, if at the last time I checked, we are already past 10k retweets, which, hiya, you know, it's combined Japanese and English. It's not gonna matter unless you guys probably send feedback to DNA. I do not even know if they actually read the comments on Twitter or your feedback. In the dev letters, they said they prioritize trainers' feedback and whatsoever. Do they really? I don't know. But anyway, I'm hoping that there's a Welcome Nemona event or Welcome Nemona Twitter rally, which will give us that 3,000 gems that we're missing. And one thing, if you check my pinned comment in this video, I said that we will be getting an extra 10 gems for Paolo Villain Arc or Interlude or something like that, and an extra 1,200 gems for a mission bingo that we will be having by that time. So that's a good thing, but 3,000 gems versus 1,210 is a far difference. So Let's skip that right now and let's talk about each one. This is Leon's Mindscape. Congratulations if you see this background image. You have just successfully scouted for Leon and Dragapult. And this sync pair is a dragon type physical tech sync pair which has 3 different attacks. One is Dragon Darts, which always hits twice in a row. Hit. 4 move gauge, hits 1 opponent. Strong damage, typical. You have Will-O-Wisp, which leaves the opponent burned. Kiawe, Variety Kiawe also has this. But Variety Kiawe hits everyone. This one hits just 1 opponent. And you have a buddy move, Breaking or B-Breaking Swipe. This is unlocked if you have used any move at least once. So if you use your trainer move, if you use Will-O-Wisp, if you use Dragon Darts, this will be unlocked. And the good thing is, this does not have any MP. So you can spam this non-stop B-Breaking Swipe. It's just a 2 move gauge attack that hits everyone. And it lowers the opponent's attack, defense, and speed -1. You have a passive skill, which we will discuss later, or let me just discuss it right now. You have a passive skill, Unfortunate Strike 9, which every single time you hit an opponent, you get to lower either their attack, defense, special attack, special defense, speed, accuracy, or evasiveness. If you use B-Breaking Swipe, you lower the opponent's attack, defense, speed, +1 random stat. You lower 4 stats of every single opponent if you use B-Breaking Swipe. Which is similar to Kiawe for some reason. You know, Kiawe can lower 4 stats of the opponent as well. You lower the opponent's attack, special defense, special attack, and speed stat, was it? I forgot. So, I think you only do not lower defense. This one also lowers 4 stats. But, you know, the 4th stat is random. If you use Dragon Darts, because it hits 2 times, you get to lower 2 stats randomly. And yeah, that's basically it. Dragon Darts hits just 1 opponent, so you get to lower that opponent's 2 stats. If you use B-Breaking Swipe, you get to lower quite a lot for all opponents. And then you have Piercing Blows. Piercing Blows, that means that if the opponent has irritating passive skills that lower the damage that you decide to hit it with, you know, it ignores those passive skills. So you get to hit the opponent with full damage. This is typically, this is quite helpful in Legendary Arena and Legendary Gauntlet. And then you have Impervious. Your stats cannot be lowered. So this is basically, or rather, Piercing Blows also ignores the opponent's enduring stats. So if the opponent has an endure thing, you get to ignore that, which is a good thing as well. So that is Leon, guys. And you have a trainer move, Let's Have a Blast. One thing to take note of is every single sync pair here in this update only has 1 MP for their trainer moves, which is, I do not know. This is becoming a trend for all the recent sync pairs. Just 1 MP for every single trainer move. Let's Have a Blast. Raises your attack stat +4, raises your speed stat +1, raises your critical hit rate +3. Maximum crit, 4 attack, and +1 speed. And that's it. That's the main kit. But this is one of those sync pairs. One of those very rare sync pairs. Was a B move or a buddy move plus max move. So this sync pair can Dynamax. And you have Max Wormwind, which, you know, B-Breaking Swipe and Max Wormwind. Is B-Breaking Swipe even a dark type move? Or is it a dragon type move? Breaking Swipe is a dark? Why is it Max Wormwind then? Is it a dragon type move? I might be mistaken in my edits. Let me quickly check, guys. So I went back and checked, and B-Breaking Swipe is actually a dragon type move. And I had to change everything. It took more than an hour to edit. Yeah. But anyway, guys, you have 2 dragon type max moves. Max Wormwind. Whatever you choose, those 2 are physical max moves. So they do not make a difference, whatever you choose. Max Guard. prevents or gives you a damage guard next effect to an ally. Meanwhile, Max Wormwind just lowers the attack of all opponents by 2. That's your max move. You know, it's good sync pair with max move, with Dynamax, with buddy move. And that's about it. And by the way, guys, this max move also, I think Piercing Blows also, you know, applies to the max move. So this will ignore the opponent's passive skills. This will ignore everything. And that's that. So, this sync pair at 1 out of 5 gets clear-headed, prevents you from getting confused. Which is worthless. But that's it. What can we say about Leon and Dragapult? Well, this sync pair is nice. We can lower the opponent's attack, defense, and speed stat, which is 3 stats plus 1 additional stat because of Unfortunate Strikes 9. But you know, you have to consider that we have had already a lot of dragon types. If you have Cygnus with Serena, you will be dealing much more damage, which probably I haven't done any damage calculations here. But the good thing about this one is this is not just a debuffer. Rather, this is not just an attacker, this is also a debuffer unit. But one thing to take note of is this is a tech sync pair. And by tech sync pair, if you 6-star EX him and use your sync move, you will hit only one opponent. Unlike Cygnus with Serena, which is a striker, hits every single opponent here. This one also has a multiplier. The lower the opponent's stats are, the stronger your damage is gonna be. This is power play built in. It's one of the better multipliers out there. So expect Leon to deal pretty much good damage. And again, you can burn the opponent and cut the opponent's attack stat by a little bit if you use Will-O-Wisp against an opponent. But with one copy, that's what you can expect. Dragon Darts, if you want to dish out strong damage, Dragon type damage, it's gonna be strong, but it's 4 move gauges. Will-O-Wisp to burn the opponent and deal consistent burn damage after the opponent's every turn. And then you have B Breaking Swipe, which is unlocked easily. And you can use it unlimited number of times. It lowers the opponent's attack, defense, speed, and a random stat because of Unfortunate Strike 9. If that was not enough to defeat the opponent, you can use your max move, Max Wormwind, and dish out the final damage. And that's that. We have had a lot of other dragon types which are pretty strong recently. And, you know, Leon is not exactly, you know, what can I say? Leon, if you're looking for the buffer, we have another dragon type that is a debuffer. It's one of the very, very good debuffers in the past. And still good now. The problem with this sync pair is that it is hard to raise her stats. And I'm talking about the very first sync pair who had an alt in her name. That sync pair is Champion Iris, aka Iris Alt. It's very hard to build up Champion Iris' stats, but you know, her stats, her kit is very good. You can lower the opponent's attack stat -2 because of double drop. She has Breaking Swipe, she has Snarl, which lowers the opponent's special attack by 2 as well. If you give her Defense Crush 2, has a chance of lowering the opponent's defense -2 as well because of double down. And yeah, if you're looking for a debuffer, she actually works well, but it's hard to maximize her unless you have a support sync pair that can raise her attack stat easily and raise your critical hit rate easily, because she only raises her critical hit rate +1, and if I'm not mistaken, her trainer move only has 1 MP. Correct me if I'm wrong. So if MP refresh does not activate for her, you have to deal with 1 critical hit rate +1. Meanwhile, Leon over here, with 1 trainer move, you get to raise your attack stat +4, you get to maximize your critical hit rate, and that means you'll be dishing out critical hits all the time here. And your sync move has an 80% chance of landing a critical hit. And that is Leon versus Champion Iris, and Leon versus Signisud Serena, if you were to ask me. Yes, Leon is a good sync pair. A lot of people like Leon. And with that attack stat, 424, and a very high speed stat, by the way, at 492. This is level 140. Very, very high speed stat. I think you're good. I will, if I were to rate this sync pair, probably a 7 out of 10. Not really a 7.7 out of 10. Maybe a little bit higher, maybe somewhere 7.5, but that's about it. Nothing crazy about this sync pair. And we move on. So let's move on right now to Gloria and Cinderace. This is, well, the icon of Pokemon Masters EX right now. And a lot of people say that I'm really excited about this sync pair because Cinderace is here, and Cinderace is my favorite fire type. Final evolution, because Scorbunny is like my ultimate favorite Pokemon. Very cute. I have so many Scorbunnies behind me right now. But I wish that Victor, or Hop at least, got Cinderace instead of Gloria. Anyway, guys, this is a very interesting sync pair because she can transform, or her sync move can transform into 3 different types. Let's start with her basic kit, or her default kit, which is fire type. So you have Pyro Ball, you have Bounce, you have High Jump Kick. And you have a passive skill here as a fire type sync pair. You have Passio's Ace. This Passio's Ace passive skill applies for every single type. So she can transform into 3 different types or 2 different other types. So Passio's Ace does not change, but the other passive skills change. Passio's Ace lowers the type rebuff of the opponent -2 after you use your max move. And the type rebuff is, whatchamacallit over here, is the same type as the max move use. We will tackle the max moves later. And then it replaces the passive skills, blah 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 blah. Right now, her passive skills are Fuel Economy 2 and Bronze Sync 5. Bronze Sync 5, once you raise your attack stat, your sync move is gonna be 50% stronger. Nice, a multiplier. Fuel Economy 2 decreases the amount of move gauge slots you required to use your moves -2. So normally, Pyro Ball is a 4 move gauge attack. And because of Fuel Economy 2, Pyro Ball becomes a 2 move gauge attack. This is a pretty strong fire type attack. So using 2 move gauges only for Pyro Ball is a nice thing. You get to deal as much damage as like a flamethrower with a 4 move gauge attack with the same move gauges as like a fire spin or flamethrower. Fuel Economy 2 also lowers the move gauge requirement of High Jump Kick from 3 move gauges to 1 move gauge required only. But take note that High Jump Kick has a pretty low accuracy, and once you miss, you get to receive 50% damage. So unless you have a sync pair that can raise your accuracy stat, don't risk it unless you want to, or unless you transform into fighting type. You also have Bounce. Bounce is a quick move. You take 1 turn to disappear, bounce up, and you take another turn to hit the opponent. Has a 30% chance of leaving the opponent paralyzed, and Pyro Ball has a 10% chance of leaving the target burned. Now this sync pair at fire type, or rather all her sync move, whatever type, has a multiplier. The damage will be raised if the opponent's type rebuff is lowered. And how do you lower the opponent's type rebuff? Again, by using her max move. Any of her max moves. Now, if you use her flying type max move, you get to have a flying type sync move, Cinderace. And this one, because you lose the passive skill, Fuel Economy 2, it transforms into Piercing Blows. That means, like Leon, you get to dish out maximum damage, ignore all the opponent's passive skills, ignore the opponent's enduring effect, and stuff like that. And you have a quick move countdown, a sync countdown to 9. Sync move countdown down to 9. Which, if you use bounce after you hit the opponent, you get to lower your sync move countdown -2. Which is... well, normally you get to lower your sync move countdown -1 only, so... You know, normally bounce takes 2 turns. So you just lower your countdown -1 on the first turn, and when you hit the opponent, normally you don't lower your sync move countdown. So, this basically lowers your sync move countdown -3 in the turn when you normally lower your sync move countdown -2. So you lower your sync move countdown by an extra 1 with quick move sync countdown down to 9. But again, Pyro Ball over here stays as a 4 move gauge attack because you lost the passive skill Fuel Economy 2, and your high jump kick becomes a 3 move gauge attack because you lose Fuel Economy 2. And again, if you have your passives, if you use your flying type sync move, the opponent will have their flying type rebuff -2, and your sync move, which turns into a taste of my skill Flying Impact. One thing that you want or is interesting for her is all her sync moves have different names. This is not like Ace of the Team Fire Impact, Ace of the Team Flying Impact, Ace of the Team Fighting Impact. We had a sync pair like that. That is your whatchamacallit, Spring May. I forgot what name of the sync move is. From Normal Impact, I think it's Heart Thumping, Normal Impact, and then Heart Thumping Fighting Impact. Nothing boring like this. You have Ace of the Team Fire Impact. It changes to a taste of my skill Flying Impact. But sadly, Impact, you know, the generic sync move thing. And we have the Fighting type. Score a Victory Fighting Impact. If you use her Fighting type max move, you get to transform into Fighting type and give the opponent a Fighting type rebuff -2. This one, you get Piercing Gaze as a passive skill. We were talking about earlier that high jump kick has a low accuracy rate. Well, this time, your accuracy will not even matter because you will never miss. You will always hit your high jump kicks against the opponent. And this is interesting. I want to know how much HP recovery you actually recover. It says hit HP recovery M. I'm assuming M is medium. 9. So how much HP do you actually recover when you hit an opponent? This is something like Drain Punch, I guess. Because I think we have had Drain Punch not really recently, but Drain Punch, a lot of sync pairs have this. Recover a little bit of HP or more HP if you land stronger damage, but this one is consistent. Recover a consistent amount of HP. I'm guessing this is much more than the teeny weeny HP that you recover normally from regen or from, you know, the healing. Like, we have had Variety Mallow recently, and if you hit the paralyzed opponent, you get to recover a little bit of HP. I'm guessing this one, recover a little bit more, probably 20%. I'll be surprised if this is 30% HP. That will make Cinderace quite a very nice fighting type, which is, you know, can self-sufficient, self-sustain, will not faint. So, this is a fighting type Cinderace. You get to not miss your attacks. You get to recover HP whenever you attack the opponent. And I forgot to mention this, but we have your trainer move Kick Off, which raises your attack stat +4, same as Leon. Raises your evasiveness +1, I think Leon's speed instead of evasiveness, and maxes out your critical hit rate so that every single time you attack an opponent will be a critical hit. Except for your sync move, which is gonna be 80% critical hit. And that's that. Now, let's talk about the max moves. You have G-Max Fireball, your fire type max move. Ignores passive skills. Basically, this is Piercing Blows. And remember, she gets Piercing Blows with Max Airstream. After you use your Max Airstream, you get Piercing Blows as a passive skill. But this one G-Max Fireball built in have piercing blows. And then Max Airstream raises everyone's speed +2, and if you use Max Knuckle, you raise everyone's attack stat +2. Plus, you give the opponent of either a Fire type rebuff -2, Flying type rebuff -2, and Fighting type rebuff -2. And I think I forgot to mention this in the video when I discuss this every single time. What does the rebuffs do? Rebuffs increase the damage of that move of that particular type against the opponent. So if the opponent has a Fire type rebuff -1, you get to deal more Fire type damage. Fire type rebuff -2 get to deal stronger, even stronger damage, but the rebuffs max out at -3. Yes, -3. Positive rebuffs lower the damage. We have not exactly had specific, mentions of positive rebuffs, except for, sometimes there are sync pairs that get some type resistance against that. That's a positive rebuff. Negative rebuffs, you just deal more damage if the opponent has a negative rebuff. And remember, your sync move has a built-in multiplier. If the opponent's type rebuff, any type rebuff, is lowered, you will get to dish out more damage. So basically, use a max move first before using your sync move, and you should be able to dish out more damage. And remember, fighting type or fire type Gloria. Fire type Gloria has an extra sync move multiplier, Brawn Sync 5. If your attack stat is raised, you get to dish out 50% stronger sync move damage. But this passive skill disappears with all the other types. If she's flying type, if she's fighting type, she gets no extra multiplier. And at 1 out of 5 with her sync grid, you get haste. Your speed cannot be lowered, but that's it. If you want more, you have to scout for more copies, but that's for another video. We move on. Before moving on, final words about her. Well, versatile. Very versatile sync pair. If you're looking for fighting type, I guess fighting type Cinderace is good because of that HP recovery. I have no idea how much HP recovery you're looking for, but if you're looking for fighting type, probably a good sync pair. Flying type, well, bounce is finally good. You get to evade the opponent's attacks, and you get to lower your sync move countdown, I guess. You also get to ignore the opponent's passive skills, plus have a chance of paralyzing the opponent. Meanwhile, fire type, well, we have had so many fire type sync pairs. I have no idea. You have 2 built-in multipliers, which is good. Actually, you have 3 built-in multipliers. Type rebuff, -2. Sync move, multiplier. As long as the opponent type rebuff is lowered. Bronze Sync 5. You have 3 built-in multipliers if you use her fire type sync move on the opponent. I think that is gonna be very, very strong. But with all the fire type sync pairs that we have, do you need another one? Flying type rebuff, you get the flying type rebuff -2. You get the score of, you get a taste of my skill flying impact multiplier. And same for the fighting type, you get 2 built-in multipliers, one for the Passio's Ace and one for score of victory fighting impact. Either way, her sync move is gonna be quite powerful. And if you 6-star EX her, you get an additional 1.5 times multiplier on her sync move. I have not seen how strong her sync move is yet. I have not seen the damage calculations. But she is looking to be a very interesting and quite a strong sync pair, especially if you just want 1 copy. 3 multipliers easily, very easily triggered if you use your fighting type sync move. Alright, let's move on. Olympia and Sigilyph. This is your Spotlight Scout. And if I were you, a free-to-play player, I will skip this sync pair. because you do not need Spotlight Scouts. But for the sake of this video and for the sake of discussion, we discuss. So she has Stored Power, she has Calm Mind, and she has Ancient Power. Calm Mind raises your special attack and special defense +2. It says +1 over there, but you have a passive skill, Pokemon Move Stat Increases ×2. When your stat is raised by a move that is used by your Pokemon, it is raised by doubles the stat rank. So your special attack and special defense are gonna be +2 instead of +1. Swag Bag 2 raises the chances of raising status values with the additional effect of moves. This applies to Ancient Power. Ancient Power has a 10% chance of raising your attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed +1. Swag Bag 2 increases this to 30% chance, if I'm not mistaken. 30% chance of raising your attack, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed +2 instead of +1 because of your passive skill, Pokemon Move Stat raises ×2. This is probably the way you want to use her. Ancient Power, Ancient Power, Ancient Power, or Calm Mind is completely up to you. But in the end, after you have raised your stats up, you want to use Stored Power. Stored Power, the higher your stats are, the stronger your Stored Power is. And let me tell you, at the start of the battle, immediately, that you have your Evasiveness up +6 immediately because of Agile Entry 6. Your evasiveness is maxed out immediately at the start of the battle. This is an interesting sync pair. Either you want to use this as your tanker to, if you're lucky, you will get to evade all the opponent's attacks. So, yeah, interesting. Gimmicky, but interesting. And then you have your pass or your trainer move, An Opportunity, which applies the status reduction defense to the allied field of play. That means your opponents will not be able to lower your stats and maxes out your critical hit rate. My opinion, this trainer move sucks, but you get to raise your stats up immediately. I mean, I would appreciate it if like An Opportunity raises your defense defense +3 or defense +2, special defense +2, raises your critical hit rate +3, just like some sync pairs can do that. I think that is, well, +2, I think that is, Cygnus with Misty does something like that, but does not raise your critical hit rate. I guess, you know, this is just 1 MP, so you can just use this once. It just maxes out your critical hit rate. The game, this kit wants you to use your attacks, your Calm Mind, your Ancient Power to raise your stats. So the higher your stats are raised, your sync move passive or your sync move built-in multiplier, the stronger your sync move is. This is also a tech sync pair. That means if you 6-star EX her, your sync move is gonna hit 1.5 times stronger. Now Olympia is my favorite gym leader. And in terms of her kit, it's pretty okay. Not crazy about it. We have had a lot of psychic types that are really good. Spotlight, I guess, Spotlight level. Nothing that significant except for get to raise stats easier. You get to, by the way, this Pokemon move stat increases. Just take note of this. If other sync pairs, if a support sync pair raises her stats, it does not raise up ×2. This is not like, if I'm not mistaken, New Year Lycia, who can have their stat raise ×2 or something, even with your support sync pairs. This is just her moves herself. So you have to use Calm Mind, Ancient Power in order to raise your special attack, special defense, attack, defense, blah blah blah, your other stats. You have to use your moves in order to raise those stats. Now, at 1 out of 5, you get Dauntless. Special attack cannot be lowered. And that's it. You have to get 2 copies, 3 copies in order to get the other things. Now, Unless you're a content creator, highly suggest you to wait it out. I personally will not care, even though she's my favorite gym leader, I will not care to max her out on day 1 because anniversary is in the corner. So wait it out, you know, maybe once you're scouting for the anniversary units, you might get a copy of Olympia. If you just want 1 copy, there's gonna be a 7,500 gem, paid gem option for you to get 20 custom power-ups for her to make her 6-star EX and a guaranteed Olympia with 7,500 paid gems. If you want a copy, then go for it, but you have to use paid gems. Same thing for Drasna Dragalge. You have to use paid gems, 7,500 paid gems in order to get 1 sure copy and get enough custom power-ups to make her 6-star EX. Now, this sync pair is a dragon type with poison type attacks. You have Toxic, which leaves the target badly poisoned. You have Sludge Bomb, which can have a 30% chance of leaving the opponent poisoned. Normal poison over here. Side note, if you have Oleana, use Oleana together with her. Use Drasna, Sludge Bomb, you poison the opponent. The opponent gets badly poisoned because you have Oleana's passive skill. Ally poisons, badly poisoned, something like that. So every single time the opponent gets poisoned, they get badly poisoned instead. But if you have Oleana, I do not see the reason why you want to use Drasna as your poison type attacker. She's a dragon type though. So maybe you want to do that. You have Draco Meteor as your dragon type attack. You have its side effect is it lowers your special attack stat -2. And the good thing is, you bypass this because you have a passive skill, Team Special Attack Down Immunity. That means, even if you use Draco Meteor unlimited number of times, your special attack stat will not go down. This is Dauntless. Built-in Dauntless, not only for her, but for the entire team. The entire team will not have their special attack lowered. If the opponent likes to use Snarl to lower your special attack stat, or if you have any other moves that lower your special attack stat, no effect because of Team Special Attack Down Immunity. You have Super Duper Effective 5, makes your super effective moves 50% stronger, so I guess that's maybe a reason why you want to use her poison type attack against poisoned opponents, maybe. Or probably Draco Meteor will be 50% more powerful if the opponent is weak to dragon type attacks. And one good thing is that if the opponent is weak to dragon, use Draco Meteor, your next move would be free. If the opponent's weak to poison, use Sludge Bomb, your next move is gonna be free. Nice. Very nice. No move gauge management issues. Although her speed stat is pretty high, at 333, there's no problem at all. You can combine her with a move gauge eater, like for example, for dragon type, you have the move gauge eater Signasuit Serena / Signasuit Leon / whatsoever dragon type that uses 4 move gauge attacks. You have, if you do not have your Oleana 6-star, or rather 5 out of 5, Gong Shot is a 4 move gauge attack. Sludge Bomb free. Sludge Bomb free. Sludge Bomb free. Free move next if the opponent is weak to whatever type of the attack that you use. And you have a multiplier for your sync move if the opponent is poisoned or badly poisoned. Your dragon type, take note, dragon type sync move is gonna be more powerful. Don't make the mistake that you thought this was a poison type sync pair. This is a dragon type sync pair. And her sync or her trainer move gives you a super effective up next effect. Nice. Another multiplier over there. So you can use that for either your sync move or your normal attacks. But One thing is, it only raises your critical hit rate +2. So you still have to raise your critical hit rate by another 1 using another sync pair or with an MP refresh if you want to max out your critical hit rate, special attack stat +4. Now, do you get an MP refresh at 1 copy? No, you don't. The MP refresh comes out at 2 copies. So that's that. 1 copy only gives you antitoxin. So again, if you are a free-to-play player, or if you are not crazy in really wanting to get maxed out on day 1 or something like that, just skip the sync pair because anniversary, you might get her. Alright, last of the bunch. You have Nemona and Pawmot. If you see this background image, congratulations. She is a Pokefair sync pair. And as a Pokefair, you max out at 5 copies. But who cares? We're talking about 1 copy only here. She is the very first sprint sync pair in this game. The role is sprint. What does sprint do? Well, you have that high speed stat. And then if you use her 6-star, if you use her sync move once she is 6-star EX, you will get to lower your sync move countdown -3. And it only happens once. You have Thunder Punch, 10% chance of leaving the opponent paralyzed, and you have X Speed. Now, why did I put X Speed as a Pokemon move? Maybe the image will be different, guys. I'm just following Absol-utely's thing over there. Maybe the X Speed image will be different. X Speed, when I look at the Datamine info, is a Pokemon move and not a trainer move. So it's used by Pawmot over there. X-Speed maxes out your speed stat instantly. Speed +6. And, well, once your speed stat is raised, you get multipliers. You get your sync move, the higher speed stat is raised, the stronger your sync move is gonna be. And your buddy move over here, you can only use this once. And basically, the higher speed stat is, the stronger your max or your buddy move is gonna be. I think this only hits 1 opponent and gives everyone free move next. That's why she's a sprinter. Gives everyone free move next. If I were to think about it, would Ingo be considered a sprint sync pair? Because he can give everyone free move next if it's sandstorming and use his trainer move. Was it all aboard? So if you... Can Ingo be classified as a sprinter in that regard? And one thing that you want to take note of right now is that if you want to raise her move level, if you just have 1 copy of her and want to raise her move level, you have to collect a new item called Sprint Move Candy Coins or Sprint Move Candies, which everyone has 0 of at the moment. I think in her event you can get 2 Sprint Move Candy Coins. So that's a sad thing. New role, new item to collect unless you have yellow move candies, which are given as daily presents if you have the paid gem bundle, which you have to be a paying player in order to do that. Free-to-play players, I'm sorry. Or, you know, what else? You know, battle point rewards give you those move candy coins. You can also use them to power her up. But again, as a sync pair that doesn't fall on the striker, tech, and support things, you have to collect everything from scratch. And that's a sad thing about her and a negative in my opinion for her. You have a trainer move, Let's Battle All Out, reduces the sync move countdown, -2. And I think you use this on a specific sync pair in your team. Raises an ally stat +2, applies gradual healing to an ally, applies damage guard next effect to an ally, applies enduring effect to an ally. You can only use this once. Again, it lowers your sync move countdown -2, raises your attack stat raises an ally's attack stat +2, applies gradual healing, applies damage guard next, and applies enduring effect. Now, you probably don't want to use this on Nemona herself. Maybe you want to, maybe not, because she has a passive skill, Honing Hit 9, which raises your attack stat +2 and raises your critical hit rate +1 immediately when you use your attacks. When you use Thunder Punch, you get to raise your attack stat, you get to raise your critical hit rate. By using 3 Honing Hits, you get to max out your critical hit rate, you get to max out your attack stat. And you want to probably max them out first before using your buddy move over there to dish out maximum damage. And you cannot use your buddy move, by the way, before using X speed. You'll have to use X speed first, so that you will unlock B double shock. So, what can I understand here? Honing Hit will trigger, if I'm not mistaken, once you use your trainer move, Honing Hit will trigger. X speed Honing Hit will trigger, and 1 Thunder Punch Honing Hit will trigger. So by using Let's Battle All Out, your trainer move, your X speed, and your 1 Thunder Punch, your attack stat will be maxed out, your critical hit rate will be maxed out. You have a passive skill, Soften Up 1. This basically guarantees that your Sing move will be a critical hit rate, or a critical hit, not just 80% critical, but always a 100% guaranteed critical hit if you have raised your critical hit rate. And you have another passive skill, a very long one. First Sync move, Restore Buddy move MP 1. So, after you use your Sync move, for the very first time, for Nemona, not only do you lower your Sync move countdown -3, but you get to lower your Sync move countdown -2 again, because you can, or rather, sorry, wrong, mistake, take that out. You get, not only do you lower your Sync move countdown -3, but you also get to unlock another B double shock, so that you get to give everyone a free move next effect. So you get to use, give every single ally double free move next effect. And by using Let's Battle All Out, you get to lower your Sync move countdown -2. By using your Sync move, you get to lower your Sync move countdown -3 if you have her 6-star EX. And your Sync move is gonna be guaranteed a critical hit because of Soften Up 1. And that's about it. For Nemona, an electric type Sync pair, will she compare to the likes of Thunderbolt Red and Ash? No. Probably not. But, you know, she's a sprint Sync pair, an interesting one. And the very first Gen 9 Sync pair. So that is her selling point. That is what they are promoting for you. To you, rather. And if you want to scout for her, then go ahead. But if you were to ask if Thunderbolt Red or Ash is better, I believe that Thunderbolt Red and Ash is better. At least with 1 copy. 1 copy, you got Haste and Lithe. But maybe with higher copies, you know, see those multipliers up there. And see that she has a very interesting, staggering 3. At 3 out of 5, when Red or Thunderbolt Red, I think, has staggering 1 or staggering 2 at 3 copies for his Thunder Shock, I think. Or was it Thunder Shock, I think. So, staggering 3, 40% chance of making the opponent flinch. Interesting. But, let's not talk about 3 out of 5 right now, or even 4 out of... That's supposed to be 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5. You know what? Let me quickly correct that right now. Let's not talk about them because that is not the point of this video. And with that said, guys, we have discussed all the Sync pairs in this update. And again, a little timeline update over here, or check up review. Leon, Gloria, and Nemona are Pokefair scouts. That means if you want to scout them, they have a 10% chance of giving you a random 5-star Sync pair. A 2% chance of getting them. You have Olympia and Drasna. The only good thing about them is that their spotlights, they're permanent. No, that's not the only good thing. They're permanent sync pairs. That means if you decide to skip, they'll come out on August 28 in whatever banners. But if you want to scout now, they give you 3 move candies on their regular banners. Candy coins, rather. So 3 tech move candy coins for Olympia regular 3,000 gem scouts, and another 3 tech move candy coins for Drasna on the regular multi-pulls. And if you want to scout on their paid banners, 7,500 paid gems guarantees you 1 copy of either of them plus enough custom power-ups to make them 6-star EX. Meanwhile, the Poke Fairs do not give you presents, and that's just sad. And that's it. That's the timeline. July 31, August 2, August 4, August 7, August 8. My goodness, everyone is coming out within a span of 10 or 11 days. And I don't know if that's a good thing. 31, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 days. My goodness. Scary. Scary. All your gems are gonna be over. For those who are curious and buy gems, there's a gem there's our gem whatchamacallit, gem specials coming out on July 31. There's another gem special coming out on August 8. But I don't want to promote purchasing gems right now, but take note that there are 2 gem specials happening here in this little slot of things over here. And now, let's just quickly take a look at their stats before I end the video. Leon has the highest HP, and Nemona has the lowest HP out of the bunch. Everyone is at 600 something, so if you decide to 6-star EX them, they'll be at the line of 7. I'm not sure if Leon reaches 700 when you have him level 140 and he reaches 800 HP. I'm not sure, but at level 140, that's their stats. Attack stat wise, Gloria has the lowest attack stat and Nemona has the highest attack stat. Defense wise, Gloria has the highest defense, Olympia has the lowest defense. Special attack, Drasna has the highest special attack, Olympia has the lowest, because those are the only 2 sync pairs that deal with special attack. The rest, the Poke Fairs, deal with the attacks, physical attack stat. Drasna has the highest special defense, Olympia has the lowest special defense. Interesting, Olympia has the lowest stats across the board, but then Olympia can raise her stats on her own. High speed stat belongs to Leon, which I'm surprised because Nemona as a sprinter, sprint sync pairs, I'm expecting her to have a higher speed stat, but Dragapult is one of the fastest Pokemon in the mainline Pokemon games. So, speed stat way up at 492. There's not a lot of Pokemon or sync pairs that have a high speed stat like that. And in terms of multipliers, guys, over here, we have 3 screens for you. You have, just check out the blue ones, because the blue ones are the ones that are built in. So Fire Gloria has the highest multipliers built in overall for the sync move. The Bronze Sync 5, you have built-in Fire Rebuff -2 with Passio's Ace. And if the opponent's rebuff is lowered, your sync move is gonna be stronger. Leon's multiplier built in. The lower the opponent's stats are, the stronger the damage. You can use Breaking Swipe or B-Breaking Swipe for that, as well as his passive skill lowers the opponent's stats. Olympia, the higher your stats are, the stronger your sync move damage. Drasna, you can give yourself super effective up next by using your trainer move once. And if the opponent is poisoned, you get to have a built-in target poisoned multiplier. In terms of Nemona, you have a built-in, the higher speed stat is, the stronger the damage. You can instantly max out your speed with 1x speed use. Meanwhile, Leon, attack move multipliers, none at 1 copy. Gloria, you have fire type rebuff with Passio's Ace. Olympia, no multipliers at 1 out of 5. Drasna Super Duper Effective 5 is built in, as well as one use of Super Effective up next from the trainer move. And for Nemona, you have B Double Shock. This is built in her body move. You can only use this once, unlike Leon. The higher speed stat is, the stronger the damage. Now, Gloria has two different types of sync moves, and I'm gonna talk about them right now. Flying type Gloria loses Bronze Sync 5. But she can give the opponent flying type rebuff -2. And if the opponent's rebuff is lowered, your built-in sync move is gonna be stronger. For your attack moves, flying type rebuff will power up your flying type bounce. And for fighting type, it's also the same over here. Fighting type rebuff -2 from Passio's Ace. And then built in for the sync move, if the opponent's any rebuff is lowered, your sync move is gonna be stronger. And that's about it, guys. If you are looking for a sync nuker in this update, I think Gloria, Fire type Gloria, will have one of the strongest sync move multipliers or sync nukes over here. There's a lot of multipliers. Again, Bronze Sync 5, 50% increase in damage. Fire type rebuff down 2. I'm not sure if that's times 5 or times 1.5 damage. I'm not sure. Or is it lower than times 1.5? And then there's the built-in type rebuff. I'm not sure how much damage that is. But that's gonna be strong. And if you have a sync pair that brings in Sun, she's gonna get even stronger. She's a tech sync pair. That means if you have her 6-star EX, not only do you have 3 built-in multipliers, but 4. She has Haymaker at 3 copies and can give herself super effective up next, making her even stronger. I'm curious to see how much damage she actually does. So, people who say that Gloria is mid, after looking at all of this, I kind of beg to differ. Because, lot of multipliers, but you know, so many fire types already in the game. And if you look at it from that perspective, do you need another fire type? Yes, we're getting stronger and stronger fire types, but do you need another fire type? In terms of fighting and flying, well, she's a very good sync pair. Flying has its benefits. Fighting, you get to recover a little bit of HP. Not sure how little. I think it's much larger than what we expect. But you get to recover HP every single time. And there are not a lot of fighting type sync pairs that are really good. So I think Gloria will excel in the fighting type category. Flying type, not sure. But maybe flying type will be good. But fighting type, I believe Gloria will excel in the fighting type category. Plus that fighting type rebuff is gonna be good. With that said, guys, that is it. And as usual, scout for your faves. We are one update away. Be strong, guys. Don't let your impulses, don't scout impulsively. Think about it. Unless you're spending money in the game, you probably want to skip on some of them. My advice is that you skip on the Spotlight Scouts and go for your favorite, either Rose or Oliana or Leon or Gloria. They have been revealed now. Just go for whoever of the 4. If you're lucky, you can get more than one. You spend money, well, you can get everything. Nemona, on the other hand, well, Gen 9, if you want to scout for her, then definitely scout for her. Who's stopping you? Except your gem count. But with that said, that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, and if you appreciate the content, hit the thumbs up for me right now. And let me know your thoughts. Who are you scouting for in this update? You're scouting for Leon. Alt. Gloria Alt 2. Nemona. Spotlights. Skipping them entirely for the anniversary. Or after looking at everyone, nothing interesting. Previous update is more interesting. Rose, Oliana, Let me know in the comment section right now. You're sus if you probably decide to scout for Variety Kiawe and Mallow instead. But with that said, that's it. I would like to thank all of you who have been supporting the channel for the longest time. Thank you to all the gifters of my channel. Thank you guys so much for your generosity and support. And thank you to all the members of my channel. Thank you guys so much for your continued support. If you want to join them, click on the join button down below and get access to shoutouts and sus icons, cool icons in the live chat as well. Thank you to my 2-year supporters, Shadow, Phil, Alcin, Roy, Luca, and Jeremy. Thank you guys so much. Thank you Marokman, Iwiz, and Tatsuya Gold for more than 1 year of support. And thank you Apsaras and Pokefriendo for being Pokeball tier members. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And with that said, guys, that's it for this video. This is Sol, also known as SPL Gum, also known as Spatial Gum, also known as Grunt, the artist Team Skull Grunt. I will see you in the next video. Rawr.